gotta keep my Sultan shiny.
You know, the Sultan was my first car.
Sultan was my first proper car. Like, I bought, like, my first car in the city was uh, a Washington, but that was just like to get me A to B. And someone like gave
Mm,
me most of the money for that, like with working with them. And then Sultan was like my first pick.
that
Although Finn helped me
is
pick it.
okay. I was wondering. I was like, where did that come from? Because
Yeah, I was hanging with him. I was like, right, help
it's
me
a
pick a
good
four-door.
car. It's
Yeah.
a very good car. I'm missing all the fucking
Yeah.
turns.
Yeah, literally, I was like, help me pick a four-door. And he's like, get the Sultan. I was like, okay, say less.
I hmm. There's two spots I want to bring you to in
Okay.
chat, and one I think I'm gonna leave for next time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bring you somewhere that I've only ever brought one other patch member, and it's gonna be silly, but it's probably gonna say a lot more about me than most people know.
Okay.
Do you know do you know where I come from?
I'll be honest, Ivy, I don't really know too much about you.
Hmm. I know you know my sister though.
I do.
Hmm.
But is it? I don't know. I hate getting stuff wrong and guessing.
It's okay. You'll be doing a lot of that, I'll be honest. A lot of assumptions, but it's all about being smart about it. Also, knowing when to keep your mouth shut, so I do kind of respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a siren, and I swear to God, I was like, there's no shot someone's pulling me over at LSIA. um, I'm from New York. My
Right.
sisters and
That
I,
was gonna, yeah,
yeah,
was
my
gonna be my
sisters and
guess, but just in case.
I, we grew up on the Upper East Side
Hmm.
in a gorgeous brownstone that had far too many floors to it.
Oh.
We were all exceptionally privileged. There was
Yeah.
four of us, so no brothers like yourself, but
Mm.
I had
Well, I had two older brothers, but didn't. I still don't know them, honestly.
really
Just
interesting.
me. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of shrugged me off, essentially.
Mm. It's a bit of the opposite for me, actually. So I think that's one of the first things that we actually don't compare on. I was exceptionally close with my sisters. I have a
Mm.
twin. Her name's Aurora. She
Okay.
lives in Seattle right now, but she comes to visit time to time, so you might see her.
Mm.
Katie's the middle kid,
Okay.
and then there was Briar.
Was Briar.
Was Briar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am too. But I've brought Ziggy here one time. I don't know if you know much about the club, but he's kind of the one that we go to when we got to get a little serious, and talk about our
Mm-hmm.
feelings. And he asked me to take him somewhere where I felt comfortable. And there's places all over the city, you know, rooftops and cliff sides.
Yeah.
Trust me, you'll get plenty of those with this fucking club.
I've experienced a few with Shang, I will say.
Let me guess, he's taking you to the dam?
Actually, no, I've not been to the
No?
dam yet.
All right, that
No.
one's definitely coming. That or he's taking you to some cliffs maybe
Mm-hmm.
near the oil fields.
Uh, Overlooking the sea
Yeah.
by yeah.
Yep.
Is it? Can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Hmm.
And by Josiah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, the first time I actually spoke to Shang one-to-one was at Josiah.
Yeah, so for me this was I guess you can say my happy place.
Hmm.
It reminded me of home, of New York, and
Yeah.
the white noise and the bustles and the trains kind of, I don't know, helped with the mentals a lot.
I can imagine.
Where do you come from, though?
Edinburgh, Scotland.
Okay. So the city too, or I've never been to Edinburgh. It's one of the few in the. Actually, I haven't even been to Scotland. I've been to London so many times.
So more like just on the outside. But even Edinburgh as a city is a city quite like no other. It's very old,
Mm.
very historic, very quaint, very Harry Potter. Very, yeah, just you have the new town, um, and the old town. The old town is like a city on top of a city. It's very it's a very dark and rich history. A castle right slap bang in the middle and a train station alongside it. So
Mm.
yeah. Oh, and an extinct volcano.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Arthur's Seat. There's yeah, it's very I love it. Edinburgh's just that's home.
Mm. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Rich
No
history
subway
and
though. Mm-hmm.
no subway. No, it's all above ground
No,
or
yeah.
something.
There's no metro. It's just either the
No.
train, no, so the train to wherever you want to go next, or there's tram lines.
Mm.
Hmm.
No, I can't imagine a city without a subway.
I've been to New York though.
Have you?
Yeah, I loved it. It felt smaller than I expected. It felt
Most people think it's huge, but nope, just
it
compact.
just felt familiar. It felt like everything was where it needed to be, and
Mm.
just I was there for I think around 8 days, and it just felt I don't know. I walked around not like a tourist, just like someone who lived there, and I loved it.
It's the
I
best way to
loved
do
how
it.
yeah, I loved how cosmopolitan it was. I loved how like diverse everyone was, and yeah, I felt oddly safe because I didn't stand out. I didn't have like a camera strapped around my neck or like a little map there. I was just like, let's just go shopping. Let's just do whatever. Like I loved it, but it's only once I've been.
No, I love my city. I was able to hide a lot there growing up. I
Mm,
so you don't know much about me, and I guarantee you saw quite the political mask for my sister. And I'll be honest with you, Ailey, I will not talk much about my sister. We have a strenuous relationship, to say the least.
mm,
We're pretty much dead to each other.
mm. Yeah, I can understand why.
Mm.
She's used a lot of words that I've not been happy with.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, when I worked in the prison, I spent a lot of time speaking with Flop because I wanted to know him. I wanted to know what made him go from being a cop to someone in a 1% MC.
Mm.
And that talk was something I needed to hear. And I knew it was the right choice to, listen to him.
Mm. No,
And then
Flop's
things
a good
happened.
friend.
Yeah. Things happened either later on that night or a couple of days later where our words were, oh yeah, and you have DOC, retweeting a cop killer. And I'm like, right, okay, I understand that. I'm like, but as my job, like as our job, or was my job, used to be on the crime, you see the person, you see, and I've always stood by that. I don't care what people do with their lives. I see the person, you know. And it's things like that that just stick with me.
Mm. There's quite a few members in the ADMC who have a history, who have a past in law enforcement, government positions.
Mm, yeah.
TJ Walker was one of them.
Yep.
Mm. Winston Walker was another. And I am among those ranks.
Mm,
I was a cop.
okay.
Hmm. I served beside Opal Price and Dan Fisher and Marcus Wade.
Mm,
We My mom worked for the UN. She was an ambassador And my dad was a high-profile surgeon for one of the medical institutions back in New York. And to say that we had a certain standard me and my sisters had to meet was an understatement. Arcadia was probably the worst of it. She was a bum most of the time, ran off a bunch, partier. Every hard drug you possibly could find was probably in her underwear drawer.
Oh.
Funny enough, we quite literally swapped the roles. And I did everything that Ma and Pa wanted. I was shipped off to be a cadet in a different district. New York is not really a great place to learn how to be a cop, so they usually ship us out of town. And that's where I met Opal and Fisher, Martin, Bird. There's a bunch of people who are here now who I served with, and it's the people you remember, not the badge.
Yeah. A shame is to me.
No one came over with me, so I'm glad that you guys have each other. Funny enough, I ran into my ex while I was robbing a Polito bank, and he was on the other side pointing a gun at me. I can't blame him for it, you know? But I sure as hell can't stand beside him anymore.
No.
I can understand, I think is what I'm trying to say, where you're coming from. The feeling in the pit of your stomach, even though you're thinking that you're doing what everyone wants you to do, right? What your parents want you to do, what they think is best for you. It's just not sitting right. It's the freedom it calls in a weird kind of eerie way. It's what sucked me in.
Yeah. I felt it many years ago when I was younger. And it was my dad who tried his best just to reel me back in because he, I was his only daughter and his youngest child. And yeah, because he raised me single-handedly, he just tried his best to just keep me where he could. And I, out of that, wanted to respect it. But, you can only keep something chained or held up or caged for so long before it wants to break free.
Oh, yes. Don't I know that feeling?
Yeah. Ironically, working in a prison, I have seen that all too many times.
That's the one place I don't know how you did that one. I would have been suffocated. Holy fuck.
It's an interesting one. I'm very, I like routine and structure. But for me, it's always about the inmates. And I built such a level of trust and respect with the lifers and even temps that it's, it's just what I did. It wasn't something someone told me to do. That was just, well, no, I'm here doing a job and this is your home. I'm here to keep this place running, keep you safe, keep a little bit order. Granted, there was many times where in the middle of something, I would verbally apologize and be like, I'm sorry, I have to do this, and do what I need to. But other times I held my breath and thought, I don't want to do this, but I have to. I.e. when Flop was being transported to prison and I knew that Finn was going to be in one of the cars running up there and I had to have my gun on my lap, and I hated that. But he was doing his job and I was doing mine. He shot the tires of the car I was in, and thankfully I didn't have to shoot any shots. But there was many a time I just thought, how long can I keep going where I convince myself that this is still worth doing. Not to mention having Scotty Bard gaslight me for months.
Fuck that guy. I don't know how you did that. That's between
Mm.
being stuck between 4 brick walls every day, and I'm sure the lifers were at. I mean, listen, Cassie, I miss her so much.
I miss her too. We had a really good bond. I hate what happened to her. I wanted her to be free, nothing more than just out there doing what she wanted, being with, like, you know, the people that she knew and met. I wanted the same for Matt. I want that for all of them. I want them to be free, to have that chance. And they'll never get that in San Andreas because it's just, the people here just don't want that. They want control. They want oppression. But going back to Scotty, I'm very good at playing pretend. I wear a very, very good mask, and only so many people have seen me past that mask, and Shang is one of them. And more recently, many of the people around me are seeing that because I've just had to wear it for so long to get by.
I had some similar moments. Shang was actually, funny enough, one of the first people to see me drop my mask as well. I think it was Sean who actually really saw it for the first time. I'll tell you that story another time, but he had pretty much had to come clean up one of my crush outs. It was really bad. But
I think it's funny with Shang because it's there was, I don't know how much people know, but I don't really go into it if they don't. But there was a situation where Scotty Bard asked me, it's either DOC or ADMC. And I turned to him and I said, well, what kind of a question is that? Of course it's DOC. But then a couple of days later, when I was speaking with Shang, he said, it was very clever of you, Eilidh, to lie to Scotty. You know, this is what you should do. And he saw straight through me. Because around those days, it was Finley always speaking to me, and like Nana when she was in the prison, just everything. And I just grew such a fondness to so many people. And apart from kind of what happened, again, I tend not to talk about it because it's not everyone that needs to know. But yeah, he saw through me then, and then every other time I went and spoke to him for clarity, and just to, whenever he wanted to speak to me as well, just to talk about, I don't know, life, how things are going. It was just nice to know that he was actually speaking to me at my core and not just like DOC Ailey or whatever. It's nice to finally just feel like I can spread my wings.
so what do you want then? Where do you want to go with these newfound wings?
I want to do what I want to do with people that share the same values. I want to. Sorry, I have noises in my head, but basically, I'm so sorry. Give me a second. Sorry. Let me go back to that thought. I want to be free and do the things that I want to do alongside people with the same mindset, and just be free to act without guilt on my own terms and literally just live, not be bound by any social norms or constructs. I've seen far too many people literally just they're just trying to just do what they want to do and just have their own freedoms. They don't want to have to, sit by the 9 to 5 or, beat down people for the sake of, um, protect and serve or, for some faceless government entity that, we should all abide by. It's just why? Like, I'm tired of it. And then working in DOC like literally proved that to me, especially under Scotty, because it was not even DOC, it was the Department of Scotty Bard. I'm done with these people that don't actually know how the other half live, micromanage absolutely everything about everyone.
Let me just make sure this isn't important.
Oh my god.
Hey, Nana, you okay?
Yeah, was that you on radio?
No, not me. I'm talking to Eilidh right now.
Okay. I'm not even sure if I actually heard the radio or not. I just wanted to double check because I'm out of distance. I'm just whipping my car around, seeing how it drives.
I'm gonna be so honest. My radio was off, so it wasn't me.
Okay, no, then that's good. I just wanted to check and make sure because I think it's just you, me, and maybe Shang
Shang, I
and
think's
that
running
awake,
around.
so,
I heard he
yeah.
picked up a stray and is boosting with him.
Sounds like typical Shang.
Yep, just Shang things.
Yep. Alright,
But yeah,
I
if
just
it's
wanna
anybody,
check
it's
in.
probably him. Thanks. Yeah,
Alright,
we're chilling.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Common theme. I will always pick up a call for them.
100%.
Department of Scotty Bard.
Oh God, it's just literally that's all it was. You would come up with recommendations to improve things or, just ideas to do this, that, and whatever. And he would make it look like he was listening and take on board what you were saying, but then he changes it and flips it in such a way that suited his narrative and his ideas. It was the most frustrating experience of my life. And the way that he gaslit me into thinking that he'd done so much for me, if only he realized how much just a hatred he developed in me. A man so convinced that, his words to me one day, hey, you're my friend, and I'm like, oh, I'm your friend? Because you're certainly not mine. Just the mind games. How he claims to have bailed me out for things that actually would never have needed to be bailed out for. Is human circumstance, just human reaction. Just, yeah. People like that, I can't stand. They're not human. They are just the most selfish beings that are there for their own benefit. Anything they do is for their own power and to stroke their own ego. I can't. It's like why someone like Emilio Flores is also very similar. The largest ego I've ever seen on a man.
Yeah, I can
And I
see that's why I
can't
went to the
wait.
Marshalls.
I can't wait to blow that ego away.
So let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously have this fire. You obviously have this bite, this desire, this need.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you done it yet?
I think because I'm so conditioned to watching what's around me and being careful of the people around me that I would never act in a way that would put other people at risk. So, for example, today I was so close, but then I was thinking, well, do I do that? And then, because even at one point, Seamus is like, oh, well, you got keys for the car. I'm like, Seamus, I'm not going to take a car that's not mine for a start and just drive away and leave everyone there. Number two, people are enjoying themselves. I'm not just going to do that. I'm very conscious. However, if I know in the moment that everything is set up and good to go, I will do it. Although sometimes I have definitely, I've imagined times where I just shoot Scotty and then I stand there and I laugh and I wait for PD to roll up and then I still say not guilty. Because I don't know, it's just really funny. I
Oh
kind of
no,
want
I
to
feel
just,
that every time.
oh, I do, I really do. But I'm
I
so
love nothing
conditioned.
more than pulling out a shotgun and putting the barrel to the back of a PD head, blowing
Mm,
it up, and then watching as the other PD swarm, and I still
yep,
get the satisfaction of saying not guilty. Because
yep,
I am not guilty of the choices that I am making. I'm not guilty per
yep.
their standards. What they think that I'm doing is wrong. I'm living my life.
I'm not guilty for the life I live.
Exactly. You've talked to Finn.
I've talked to Finn a couple of times.
Yeah, he said that exact same line to me right before I became a hang around.
I mean, it's, you know, it's a 1% MC, and that's why I think out of anyone else who's reached out to me, and yeah, sure, Chaos Legion have spoken to me, and they wanted me to, do a couple of things with them. I know a couple of people there, Raiders, a couple of people I know there. I even know people in North Cyprus, stuff like that. But no other club, group of individuals have struck me more than ADMC with the mindset and passion that they have, especially as a 1% MC, because literally fuck the government, fuck the system, fuck your social constructs. Like, who do you think you are? And as much as I do come across as someone who abides by that, I do, because I'm great at playing pretend. I'm only slowly tearing away parts of me that I've had to build up over the last 10 years of my life, where my dad had to step in and really just take control because he almost lost me. I mean, I wouldn't have lost myself, but he almost lost me. But yeah.
Your fear at the party today was about getting away. What the plan was, right?
It was about how it would affect everyone else. You mentioned to me, don't be too close to Finn around about that time if it was going to
Right.
happen. So then I panicked. I worried. I don't want other people to be dragged in if they're not already part of it or if they're not fully aware or things like that. I
But
don't mind. Yeah.
no. I told you though that I would get you out. And
Okay.
I know for a fact Seamus would have stood by you. I know Kelly would have stood by you. I know for a fact Nana would have stood by you. So why didn't you take the shot?
Mm. I don't think I hesitated for feeling, as in I care. I think it was more about finding that right moment just to say that last thing and do it. But sometimes you don't need to say that, you just need to do it.
There's a
But I think,
balance.
yeah,
And sometimes you have to find the moment yourself. Sometimes you have to
yeah.
make the moment. I can promise you every quote moment I have had was made, prepared, and delivered by my own hand. It wasn't given to me. So I'm not going to tell you something straight out because I think you're exceptionally intelligent and I don't need to spell this out for you, Eilidh. Take the shot. You'll have people here willing to help you. You won't be alone. Talk to us. Talk to the people you trust. It doesn't even have to be club, right? Because club, I'll be honest, the majority of the club, you don't mean anything to them.
Of
But
course.
talk to the people that you already kind of have a friendship with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like I don't even have to tell you that I already have a kinship with you and I've barely spoken to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I just see a lot of myself in you. Take the shot and we'll take next steps.
Whatever happens, happens.
Mm.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Keep me posted. If you need a getaway, if you need someone standing behind you, if you want this to be your thing, I can give you advice. I have been in your shoes. I understand. You're not alone. But I see something in you. I see something in you that I saw in myself after I was leaving the doctors. I know you have what it takes. You just have to get over the hurdle.
Yeah, it's like throwing me in the deep end. I just need to jump right in.
But you don't have to jump alone.
That's true. And actually, I appreciate that reminder.
No, I say it because I know. Because again, I've been there. I needed the reminder myself.
Yeah, I think for me, and I said this to Seamus the other day, one of my biggest problems is that I have lived most of my life alone. I was the kid in school who sat alone with her little uniform on and her little pigtails, little packed lunch on her own all the way through school.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Prep school, valedictorian, prima ballerina. You're speaking to the fucking choir. I understand. Holy fuck. It's like looking in a mirror. This is crazy.
And I think for me, it's just getting used to the fact that there are actually people willing to help. And you don't get that in DOC because people just, they're doing things to check an SOP, right?
They're looking out for themselves.
And I was always the one on radio, right? Where are you? What are you doing? Like, can someone check on them? That's my mindset. That's always been my mindset. And for me recently, and I think it's why I've been so kind of starstruck isn't the right term, but I've just been so taken aback in awe of just everyone the last couple of days. And like I'm just Eilidh Knox, someone who's, welcome to hang on the block, and we get to do things together. And it just
Oh yeah. I understand.
I'm not used to it, but I will be.
Eilidh, I was just Ivy Grayson. I was Dr. Ivy Grayson with Crusade Medical. I am the daughter of Philippa Cantor and Frederick Fraser. I was one of the best surgeons they had on staff. And yet I still knew I didn't belong there. And I still reached out to Finn and Shang and Sean. And eventually I reached out to Rue. My jacket.
Wow.
Reach out. Because I can promise you somebody will take your hand.
Well, I did. I did last week. I called Finn and I said, Finn, I need you to release me from my chains. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm not in trouble. I says, I just need to be free. I'm like, I keep trying to spread my wings and someone close to me is clipping them and I need to be free. And that's another thing I need to sort out.
Well,
I need to do something with Elliot.
I've spoken to Eilidh a few times. He's talked to me randomly and in passing about girl problems. Right after I heard about what happened at the lighthouse with Shang.
Oh, so you know about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tend not to talk about it because I don't lift other people's names where other people might not know. So
No.
It's not my place to. Even though I was involved, it's got Shang there, and I wouldn't bring his name up.
No, as you shouldn't. You should never bring those
Even
kind of
Finn,
things up.
Even to Finn, never said to him.
No, I promise he knows. And yet we still have you coming down. You still are welcomed. We want you on jobs. We want you to experience, what the club can offer. But this is just a sampler. So, I feel like I've told you what you need to do.
You have, and I actually so appreciate this, Ivy. Mm, I really do, because I need that.
This was the one thing that was missing for me. I ended up finally getting to a point where I just knew I had to pull the trigger. It took me too long, though. And I wish I had somebody to give me that push. Because you have the wings. Just gotta use them now.
I do. You're right, and you're so right. I just need to
Yeah, you'll get used to that. I'm really smart. What can I say?
do it. Oh my god, I needed that talk. I was so
I can't
frustrated
always
with myself
promise
today.
I was the best at the talking. I can promise there's others who are far better than I am. But
Yeah.
if you want blood honesty, that's what I'm good at. If you want somebody to shove you and tell you to get your shit together, that's why the club keeps me around.
It's funny though, right? Because I can be very fucking blunt. And I think if anyone knows that, actually, Elliot is the one person who experiences my bluntness.
Really?
Yeah, oh my God, I'm so blunt with him. I give him no cuttings. Yeah, he's still there. And in my head, I'm going, boy, you should run far away from me. But he's
No,
not
that just
taking
makes
it.
him stay
So,
more. I hope you know that.
oh, well, he's probably going to come to regret that one day. I'm not going to lie.
They always do.
Yeah, he destroyed a major trust in me in a time where I still playing pretend very heavily, but hey, and no one does that to me.
Yeah, that's something I can appreciate. The honesty. So, I don't know. Even if people don't want to hear it sometimes.
Well,
Or
I'd
they have
rather
their
be
own
honest. I'd rather be
Yeah.
honest than lie. Like, you know, the
The
truth
worst
hurts.
is when they have their own interpretation, right? When you tell them what they need to hear and they're like, well, are you really just saying this though? And you're like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of times I've literally had to go to brass tacks and just explain to Elliot, like, no, this is what I mean, buddy. Like, please.
Oh, bless his heart. Is your
Well,
Sultan still at the block?
it is, yeah.
Okay.
But I appreciate you, Ivy, for this.
I know we don't know each other too well, but I hope to change that.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm like everyone else's cheerleader except my own. Like I'm telling Seamus to go do X, Y, and Z. Yet with me, I'm it's like I'm hesitating.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for repair kits.
Oh, please, yeah. This is also my ex-boyfriend's car, so.
Oh.
I care very little about it. You know what's the funny thing is though? I broke up with this motherfucker like probably 8 months ago, and still have not gotten a VAF on it. I have brought it to so many banks and fucking shootouts, never a VAF, but whatever. Lucky bastard. Of course, I get fucking VAFs on everything else, but. There we go. Yeah, I know that feeling too. Come on.
Yeah, I feel, yeah.
It feels a little surreal. Yeah. I know. All right, let's see. Where are these motherfuckers? Because I'm getting yelled at if I don't join a Marvel's Rivals game in a minute. I think Sean's gonna burn down my apartment.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, not my kind of game, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. It's mostly that I'm just there for the vibes, and Funny enough, the doctor's the fucking cleric of the ADMC. Motherfuckers. So I'm the healer for anything like that. But
Yeah.
isn't it also stupid, like late for you? Please, for the love of God, get some rest.
Oh, I've still got plenty of hours left in me.
Oh, actually, it's kind
Uh-huh.
of nice to hear because, you know what? I'll tell you that next time.
Oh.
Yep, suffer.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you probably tomorrow.
Yep. Thank
All
you.
right.